As Outlander moves toward its highly anticipated final season, fans are eagerly anticipating how the complex web of time travel and intricate character arcs will come to a close. Over the course of the series, we've seen time travel shape not only the lives of the central characters, but also the events that tie their fates together. Now, with only one season left, it's time to reflect on how the very first season might connect with the final moments of this time-traveling adventure. In this video, we'll explore the possibilities, the mysteries, and the exciting full-circle moments we can expect from the Outlander finale. Outlander has become a beloved time travel fantasy, and as the series nears its conclusion, there's a lot of excitement about how the final episodes will wrap up the epic tale. With the show heading toward its last season, it's clear that everything is coming full circle. But how will the events from earlier seasons connect with the journeys of our characters in the final chapters? As we know, time travel has been one of the key themes in the show. It's not just about jumping between the past and future, but also how those movements shape the lives and relationships of the characters. Take, for example, the time when Brianna traveled back to save Claire and Jamie from a fire, only to inadvertently cause the blaze herself. Or Roger's journey through time, which led him to uncover his own ancestors, including Gillis Duncan and Dougal Mackenzie, ensuring that his own existence in the future remained intact. These events have often happened by accident, but as the show progresses, it feels like the characters might start to harness these paradoxes and use them to their advantage. One of the most intriguing mysteries still lingering from Season 1 is tied to a seemingly simple moment when Claire goes to Craigh Dunn to pick some forget-me-not flowers. This small action sets off a chain of events that leads to Claire traveling through time and finding herself in the 18th century, where her journey with Jamie begins. Interestingly, Outlander is getting a spin-off series called Outlander, Blood of My Blood, which may shed some light on the mystery of those flowers at Craigh Dunn. In the timeline we're familiar with, the flowers weren't there in the past, raising the question, who planted them? And why? After all, if they hadn't been there, Claire might never have traveled through time, and characters like Brianna and her children might never have come into existence. The real question, then, is, who planted those forget-me-nots and what role might they play in the series finale? Could it have been one of the time travelers themselves, like Jamie or Brianna, who ensured that those flowers were planted at the right moment to trigger Claire's journey? It's even possible that the young children of Brianna and Roger, Mandy and Jemmy, could have had a hand in this, given that they have such a unique connection to time travel. As the offspring of two time travelers, they are especially attuned to the power of the stones and the lines of energy that run through them. Perhaps these two will find themselves in a position to shape the past and ensure that Claire travels through time when she's meant to. Another possibility that fans have speculated is that Claire herself might plant the flowers to trigger her own journey, especially if she finds herself facing a devastating future without Jamie. Or could it be Jamie who plants them after Claire's death as a final heartbreaking gesture? Regardless of the ultimate answer, it's clear that the forget-me-nots are key to wrapping up the Outlander saga and bringing the story full circle. However, while fans are eager to see how these mysteries are resolved, there's also some concern about how the final season will handle the abundance of material it needs to cover. With the addition of several new characters, there are fears that these newcomers might end up either overshadowing the main storyline or detracting from its focus. Season 8 is set to tackle a huge amount of content, potentially spanning 3 books, including the 10th novel that has yet to be published. The thought of condensing such a vast amount of story into just 10 episodes is daunting, especially with the packed plot lines and major events that need to be addressed. So, how will the introduction of new characters fit into all of this? While these characters, like Charles and Aleth Cunningham, are significant in the source material, there's a delicate balance that needs to be struck. Too much focus on them might take away from the beloved central characters, while too little development could leave them feeling underutilized. Given the scope of the final season, it might be wise for the showrunners to minimize the role of these new characters, keeping them as supporting figures rather than main storylines. However, with Outlander's track record of weaving complex narratives, the show might find a way to integrate them without detracting from the central journey of Claire and Jamie. Even though Outlander is nearing its end, the Outlander universe is still expanding. Blood of My Blood promises to explore the love stories of Claire and Jamie's parents, offering a new layer to the world of Outlander. Set against the backdrop of both World War I and 18th century Scotland, the show will delve into the paths that led to the births of Claire and Jamie. It's a fascinating addition to the franchise, and the connections to the original series could add an extra layer of depth to the conclusion of Outlander itself. As Claire and Jamie reflect on their own journey through time, it would make sense for the final season to also touch on their parents' stories, exploring how those intertwined histories set the stage for the central couple's own paths to crossing. The upcoming final season of Outlander will surely provide us with many answers, including the mystery of the forget-me-nots and the role of time travel in the fates of these characters.